This isn't gonna work well.
It's fun.
Sometimes he's naughty. Sometimes he's nice. But every time he's Dirt Guy. It's Dirt Guy Drive Time with your host, Dirt Guy.
Hey, welcome to Dirt Guy Drive Time. The show where well, it's a show, I guess. It's not really a show. I just like to say that, but the show where I drive home from work, normally stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic, but today, experiencing the lightest amount of traffic I've yet to encounter. And I left work later because today's my late day to leave work because of a conference call that we're on in the trailer. And I don't know, I don't want to keep reporting the same things over and over, but holy smokes. This is surreal, still. Anyway, yeah, whatever. We talk about that all the time, right? Let me lead off with my little vlog entry here of saying, apparently, my attempt at making some CV-19 related humor went over like a Snickers bar in a swimming pool, frankly. I don't think my jokes were all that great. And I was telling you, that's about the best I can do considering the circumstances. There is a joke that I wrote for another one of my videos I did, though, that I'll share with you right now. It says, it's like a quiz, okay? Where I say, what do you get when you combine a Brussels sprout with any other food? Pizza night! Yep, that's right. I hate freaking Brussels sprouts. Cindy loves them, however. Cindy Brown, my wife, the queen of everything, loves her. Hey, today's message from Caltrans: soap and water, stop COVID-19, wash your hands. What am I, a child? I guess I am. Although I used hand sanitizer quite a bit today, frankly. But speaking of things going over like a Snickers bar in a swimming pool, today I got to work and I was just sort of checking the presidential briefings, the updates on what's happening with the bug, as it were. And for the first time since I've been loosely following this, I don't obsess about it anymore because it's all bad news all the time, and some of it you can't trust, and blah, blah, blah. There's enough going on without me getting worked into a frenzy, except today. Because the president of these fine United States of America, who is normally very optimistic about the bug and whatnot, yesterday told a different story. It's gonna get worse. He called it a plague. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. This is terrifying. These kinds of things coming from the leader of what some would say the free world, I just say my president on the deal. So there's that starting my day. By the way, set the alarm, got out of bed on time, boom, I arrived before my staff did. I even shaved before I went to work. Don't I look handsome? I think I do. So with that as the leader today, my team and I were sitting around the trailer talking. Actually, we're having separate conversations, and they all kind of led to us all talking 6 feet apart, by the way. We were all distancing ourselves and drinking hand sanitizer. Actually, hand sanitizer will keep the bug away from you when you drink it, and you get a good kick off the deal, too. I'm just saying, whew, that'll set you free. Anyway, so we were talking, and we're all like, you know something? I don't feel safe coming to work. There are fewer and fewer employees showing up on the job as it is because they're afraid to go to work. Some of them are willing to lose their jobs to not come to work. And now some of us have wives who have diminished lung capacities, medical conditions that make the prospect of getting the bug a little more frightening than, let's say, somebody like myself getting the bug. So as we're talking about it, we all agreed, this is all 6 of us, were in agreement for me to send a correspondence to our director requesting, that's a key word here. It's a request requesting that in light of certain situations and our fear of coming to work, that we just shut the job down and wait this thing out for 3 weeks and then go back to work. Boom, nobody gets sick. We're doing our part. We're not spreading the bug. I sent that off. And my boss ran it to the owner of the company. And I told you, Snicker in a swimming pool. And to put it in another term, a big shitstorm developed after that. My director calls me back. First of all, he calls me, he goes, this isn't some April Fool's joke, is it? And the reason I'm laughing about that is I'll tell you a story real quick, and then I'll tell you what happened on this deal. Way back when I first met the guy that's now my director, he was a superintendent and I was a subcontractor. And he texted me back and forth saying that the light fixtures I had for the project we were working on were gone. And now understand, it was a massive light fixture, about $189,000, $186,000 light fixture package. And he said, no, I'm standing here at your bin looking inside of it and all I see is some shrink wrap on the ground. So I was under enough stress anyway to get that job finished and another job I was working on. So I erupt into a panic. I call my salesperson up. I'm like, dude, you got to hook me up. I need to replace all of those, but I'm not going to have $186,000. What can be done? I'm freaking out. I'm getting ready to call my insurance company. And I pull up to my house, my old house I used to live at, and he texts me this: April Fools. Now listen, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I was under such a great deal of stress at that point, and that just heaped on it that I threw my phone in my truck and I actually started getting tears in my eyes. Who does that to somebody? So every year we've been April fooling each other pretty bad. I got him last year. I told him that the rep for Marriott was very impressed with me and has offered me a job and I'm taking it. And he goes, April Fools. I go, well, I wish it was, but I'm serious. It's a great gig. And he goes, dude. And I'm like, April Fools. Boom, I got him. So he thought this was an April Fool's joke. And no, it wasn't. It's all I wish it were, but it's not. So the response, I kind of cut to the chase on the deal, huh? The response from the higher echelon is this: we're not going to close the job. If you guys don't show up to work tomorrow, you're all fired. Terminated without prejudice. If we're terminated and we file for unemployment, he will fight the unemployment. He'll fight it when the state sends a form going, why is this person no longer working for you? Well, because they were scared they're going to get the virus, so I fucking fired them. So, a couple of things happened in that moment. One is I realized that all of the stuff I was told in my initial interview by the president of our company about how important family is, taking care of our families are, all of that, not so important. It's probably important to him as long as it doesn't conflict with him making money, I think. So, you know, that's an ideal. I think I was foolish to believe that. I don't think any entrepreneur is going to give a flying rat's ass if my wife gets this bug and is in the ICU so long as his job keeps moving and he makes money. I don't think he's going to give a crap. I shouldn't fool myself into thinking he would. So that's one thing. And actually that's the thing, to tell you the truth. So what am I left with? First of all, it was a request, bitches. But what I'm left with then is a tough choice to make. I feel like I could be at risk of catching this virus if I continue to be out amongst all these jackholes I don't know. That virus will live on something for 2 weeks. I mean, we're hand sanitizing and everything else, but what if? They're telling us to stay the hell home. I digress. So I can go to work and risk that, bring that home to my wife, or I can stay at home and lose my paycheck. So I don't know which of the two is worse on the deal. I talked it over with my wife. And I think she was pretty concerned yesterday about catching this thing, and now she's more concerned about us not having a paycheck. So I made this illustration with my boss. If I'm standing on the fourth floor of the hotel with no fall protection and I'm working out on the edge, so I could fall off and die, and OSHA saw me do that, they would fine us like a mofo. Hundreds of millions of thousands of dollars. Even though the risk of me falling is almost infinitesimally small, like it's not going to happen. They don't care. The possibility that it can happen brings with it such great penalties. So, and I said this to my boss, so even if the risk of me catching this virus and taking it to my family is infinitesimally small, why isn't it taken as seriously when some of our family members could suffer serious consequences if we bring it home? No answer. Anyway, I caved in. That's bottom line, I caved in. I'm going back to work tomorrow. We're going to keep trying to stay distant and whatnot, but I'm reminded one more time that, you know, I'm kind of in this for me. Some of the go the extra mile for the company kind of stuff, as long as it gets me a bigger paycheck or helps me keep my paycheck, I'm down with it. But it's a job. I'm not defending the world from the commies, baby. It's a job. In this marketplace, and the fact that I haven't finished this job, I'm not inclined to put out my resume just yet. But when this job is over, I'll see how I feel then, is where I'm at. So bosses, if you're watching, that's how I feel about it. But I want to finish this job. I don't want to be a quitter. Oh, by the way, on the young man that we talked about, I had his back. It worked out favorably. So good for me, good for him, and good for the people that made the decision. So there you go. That's it. Yeah, I wish I had some better jokes for you. I'll work on that, I promise, because we all need to laugh. I'm laughing. Watch this. Oh, that was hysterical. That in and of itself was a funny joke. Anyway, that's it for today. My name is Steve Brown, and until I see you tomorrow, see you tomorrow.